every section that we did, welded, whatever we did, we went through and ground everything that was sharp, pointed, could cause a problem with either skin, the control wiring, or the hydraulic lines. We made everything smooth as we could. We didn't want to have any problems on set.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussions over what material to use. We went back and forth between steel, aluminum. We even entertained composites, meaning fiberglass, carbon fiber sections. And it wasn't until this gentleman stepped into the conversation, and who is Armando Gonzalez. He was our welder at the time, great union welder. And Stan really just looked at him one day and said, "Well, what happens from your end? What happens if it breaks on set?" And Armando basically said, "Well, if it was aluminum, it would be a real pain in the butt. But if it was steel, I could get right in there and weld it up." And that was the decision right then and there. Stan said, "Then steel it is."
And here I am, boring the holes right now for the pins. It took a long time to do, and we used adjustable reamers to get to the size we needed. But this was the way we could control it extremely well. That was the motion base for the character they decided to put him on. The motion base would give the body of the character extremely wide movements, from tilting side to side, raising up, tilting back. They built a Wally, and the Wally was a miniature of the motion base.
This is a small scale mock-up, and this is a 1-to-1 ratio from the input device to the hydraulic cylinders. And an interesting side is the company that made the motion base for us made these motion bases for like F-16 fighter flight simulators, and they had never had them wired directly to a device quite like this. It was always joystick applications. We took this down to their facility and showed them this, and all of the people in the building were lined up around the building to, come up and try it.
At the controls behind there in the pink shirt's Craig Barr. He was very instrumental in the electronics of this character. Here we have him on the floor right now, putting in all the pieces. All the pieces had to be done and finished and put on. We didn't really have time to take things off, so our build was basically a final build. And Stan was there all the time, watching, asking questions, giving directions, things that needed to be done or things that he wanted to see different, we accomplished for him.
And talk about hands-on. I mean, it's not a joke. Stan was literally putting his hands on multiple ton structures on a regular basis, saying it needs to move this far, it needs to move this fast. It was his guidance that engineered us to 90 inches per second at the tip of the nose. That's an extremely aggressive motion profile.
There at the bottom is Lloyd Ball. He was our hydraulics technician. Very instrumental in making this thing come alive. To mount this thing to the floor on the motion base, they actually came in and cut concrete out about a 10-foot by 10-foot span and sunk anchors into the floor about 5 feet deep to hold the motion base and the weight of this character and what it was going to do.